So before we get started, I'm just gonna go around and ask y'all just to introduce yourselves and maybe the name of your business and what you do in your business. Is that good? Okay, and then after that, I'll go ahead and introduce one of our great members who is helping to produce this event. And then we'll take the floor, then I'll go back and get y'all lunch ready, okay? Is that good? All right. So if this is your first time at the BlakkCo, we are a social club for communities of color. We're a membership-based social club where we do lots of programming in the areas of empowerment, mental wellness, and social recreation. So the Empower Lunch and Learn falls in alignment with our empowerment programs. Most of our members here at the social club are business owners and or in business doing something. And so we always love to sort of create events that are going to help continue to give our members what it is that they may be looking for and or community members what they're looking for. And so again, we're excited. We're going to start with you. Yeah. You sat up front. You sat up front, so I'll allow you to introduce yourself.
My name is Finalley. I am a lot of things, but today I'm going to begin my space of being an entrepreneur. I own a business called On Campus LLC. It used to function as a membership space in Redview. I have since closed the space, and now I do more events. And I'm looking to move forward.
Yeah. Hello, I am Sierra Horton. I'm the owner and founder of Group the Runway, that also Trash Treasure events. I am a fashion and thrift expert and single curator, event curator. And so I curate eco-friendly fashion parties and different events that the whole city can enjoy. And then I'm a vintage dealer as well as a runway coach. And yeah.
Hi everyone, my name is Theodis Watson. I'm born in Trinidad and Tobago, I live in Barbados. I'm here on vacation with her, visiting her, because I work with HeftIQ, the product and product design, officer, manager, whatever it needs to get things executed. I do have my own business, the FinRoute, which is a routing solution to help persons align their goals with their financial needs. So based on your goal is to own a home or buy a car, extend your family, it connects you, guide you, and route you to that goal to the financial products. I'm also a director in Trinidad and Tobago. I'm the board of directors of a tech company that powers all tech throughout the entire government.
Yes.
So that's me.
And
Nice to meet you
This is our first international visitor.
Hi, I'm Christy Chase. I am a hairstylist transitioning into hair practitioner in trichology. So I am in transition, so I help women with hair loss issues as far as alopecia. So I give them an outlet of trying to help them regrow their hair. However, being in the business now, transitioning from hairstyles of 30 odd years, I don't know, I done lost count, and trying to come out of the, from behind the chair. I am now in position now to turn my salon into a hair clinic. So I'm looking for the outlet of trying to rebrand. I'm in a rebranding and trying to just get the word out that hair loss is something that's not spoken in the Black community too much, but trying to create a group that's safe and secure for women that want to come out and share. And if not, you know, my salon is, a salon now, so I have to keep reverbing my verbiage now. It's a private area for women who wants to come in and get their services in a private setting and still like spotlight feeling. So that's what I'm doing currently after 36 years of a hair house.
Nice to meet everyone. So I know Christina for several years now. I'm a naturopathic doctor. I do have my own small clinic consulting business, which is more like a naturopathic doctor. So get treated acupuncture and all natural holistic stuff. But most of my work is, as Christina knows, is more just on a volunteer basis. I just help people, so it's not really a business not a work getting paid. I do also work in a pharmaceutical company, and I work in clinical trials, doing research in oncology, and I'm also doing my own research studies at UMKC. So I have many hats, but I'm here supporting Christina and also just to learn more about AI. I actually have a very close friend in DC who his whole passion is AI. And so we were just talking about that and ways to implement that in business. So I'm excited to
And
Hey everybody. My name is D. Coop. Well, my name is Deron Cooper, but everybody just calls me Coop or D. Coop. I'm a game show host here in the Kansas City area. The name of my company is called The Ultimate Game. You look familiar.
I know you.
Are you Scooter's mom?
Huh?
Are you Scooter's mom?
No, I'm Bella's mom.
Who?
Bella.
Bella. Okay, no, you look very familiar. Oh, I know you. I know, I'm sorry. I'm a game show host here in the Kansas City area. The name of my company is called The Ultimate Game Night. I'm on all platforms. We specialize in digital games, so not just your regular Uno and your spades and the dominoes. We actually bring the tech inside of it. So we bring like the game boards, like the Family Feuds and the Deal or No Deals and the whole shebang. We can go down that whole rabbit hole. We have about 25 digital games. And of course, we have all of the other games as well. But people book us to come to their birthday parties, baby showers, corporate events, the whole nine, team building events, and more, holiday parties, and all of that. AI is something that we implemented a lot into our website now. So talking to the people, I build community and I speak with people, but the booking process is difficult sometimes. And so I've implemented a lot of AI inside of that, just to make the process a lot more simple. And it's been very impactful. And I'm excited to be here. So that's who I am.
I'm gonna ask you to come on this side of the room if you can. Got whole table too. Okay, well, and so without further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and bring up Emmanuel. Emmanuel is a recent member that joined the club, and thank you, Theodis, for the shout out. There's a connection there. But just in our little short time of knowing Emmanuel, he has definitely showed that he has a passion to help small businesses. He has an amazing podcast, Finalley, and he'll talk about that. And so he's sort of been doing his thing sort of in the background here at the club. And I was like, you know what, we need to do like a lunch and learn where other people can actually tap in. But even beyond this particular class, again, if you all follow his platform, he has a wealth of other professionals that are sharing great information that you can just continually to stay connected with. And so, Emmanuel, it's your time.
Thank you, Christina. I appreciate it. For the BlakkCo, Christina. All right, my name is Emmanuel Tegging. I work as a commercial lender for small businesses in the area. Been doing it for about a couple of years. Background in tech as well. I've helped found a tech startup in Philadelphia that actually grew from grassroots into IPO, right? So I've gotten the business experience, and now I'm seeing experience on the small business side. And one of the reasons why I decided to do a podcast is because as I'm having continuous interaction with small businesses, I'm getting to learn that the challenges that they face can be boiled down to similar, at least categories, right? So having a platform where I bring subject matter experts like Theodis on the access to capital and community development side, and also Herc on the AI tech side, what does that look like? And can it go to the masses and impact in a larger way? So through Theodis, I got connected with BlakkCo. We've done a few episodes here so far. We're using this beautiful facility. And even though we expected, about 10, 15 people outside the weather, I'm so grateful that you guys are here today. I will do a brief introduction of Theodis. So Theodis Watson is an expert in small business lending, right? He has the background, the knowledge, years of experience in helping small businesses get access to capital, from trucking to engineering firms. That's one of the things that he does. He's also a director of community development for a local national bank, rather national bank, not local, but national bank out here in Kansas City. And most importantly, in my opinion, he's the national president of the Urban Financial Services Coalition, new appointed president. Urban Financial Services Coalition, we'll discuss briefly about it and what it does, but it is a very impactful organization that I'm part of through Theodis, and I've benefited tremendously from it. And our second guest, Learie Hercules, we call him Herc, aka Herc. So he has, I was just looking at his LinkedIn, trying to find, what does the man do, right? It's just a plethora of things. Like click more and 17 more things that I could do. And I'm just gonna let him speak about it himself. So he is in big data, applied AI, a wealth of knowledge. Like his ability to break down, and I would recommend for anyone interested to take a look at the episode that him and I did regarding tech. And it's like we talk about AI, and it's like unknown to us, right? It's like, okay, this is something that is big, it's coming to take over. However, what is it? How can we foster it and really bring it down to help us solve the challenges that we face, and most of us here, small business owners, even though the panelists included, right? So he's a founder of HeftIQ, a phenomenal platform. I've tested it out, but I'll let him explain. It's in the logistics space, but it has the ability to expand into other business genres as well. And he is an advisory board member on the UMKC Bloch School of Business. So, and he is putting his hands on how graduates would come out being functional in using this technology that is basically, sweeping the world. So we have a couple of discussion points, but I'll invite the panelists. I guess we can take a seat right there. Herc on that side, and then Theodis on this side.
You want me to sit here, right?
Yes, right there, and I'll sit over here. So let's start from Theodis. Tell us a little bit more about yourself and what you do.
Absolutely. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you all for joining. Emmanuel, thank you for doing this. Really what I do is I've been a banker and been in banking for about 23 years on various sides of the institution, but most recently commercial lending, so creating loan products and services for small businesses. Really been charged to provide access to capital to all communities, but I've been really focused on minority and women-owned businesses, how do we get access to capital. We do a lot of education, doing a lot of things like this to really get the word out. I've been involved in the industry for, like I said, 23 years, and I do know that, unfortunately, historically, the banking and financial institution has not been favorable to all communities, but it's a great industry if we are able to partner. There's been a lot of wealth. Obviously, I say it's the cheapest way to cash your paycheck, right, and also get access to capital. So being a partner of the community, providing education, and really kind of giving individuals the how-tos is very important to me because I've been able to build successful businesses and want to continue to do that. And then also, as Emmanuel mentioned, I'm the National President of Urban Financial Services Coalition, which ultimately is to see more senior leaders of color, women, in C-suite positions in the financial service industry. As we know, representation matters, right? But we also do a lot of professional development. We do scholarships, but ultimately one of my goals as the national president is to build that next wave of financial professionals. So partnering with high schools to colleges, even people in mid-level management to get them to the next level. So it's a pleasure to be here. Thank you, and I'm looking forward to the conversation.
Thanks for being here. All right. Hercules, please introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit more about what you do.
So I'm originally from Trinidad and Tobago, Caribbean. Right, that's where the ship dropped a few of us. Same people.
Yeah.
Right, and my passion is really around the arts, history, linguistics, cognitive psychology, sociology. I've always been curious about the world and the construction of the world, right, from a little kid. So that's who I am at heart. And then growing up, my mom worked in R&D and would bring things home to play with. I wanted to become a medical doctor, but turned out to be an engineer. And then from that kind of sparked. So who I am and what I do is very different, but it bleeds and it complements each other, right? Professionally, I have 2 companies. How many companies does Elon Musk have? Anyone knows?
Several.
Give me a number.
The one that we know.
Right? Tesla,
Yes,
SpaceX,
SpaceX, yeah.
Twitter,
Yep.
Neuralink. So that's me counseling myself in January this year.
Yes.
With 2 companies, I'm like, it's
You
okay.
did. Yeah.
Right? So the first company, HeftIQ, it's a AI supply chain platform. So basically we connect to all of the third-party logistics, transportation carriers and the e-commerce platforms, and you can chat with the data and ask questions and stuff. Right? The second company, Lifelong Learning Labs, where we do a lot of corporate training on AI. So I'm connected to my good friend. She's running Girls Action Network in DC, and we combine the platforms and that stuff, do a lot of corporate training, etc. So I've always been tech. I have a couple degrees, electrical engineering, computer science, management, mine and HR, master's computer science. But those are things, just easy things. I think the harder thing is understanding how to navigate the world. And for me, why I do what I do is for the kids to see what I do so the kids can know that they can do. That's it. When I'm done, I'm done. I also have an AI patent in 2017 as well, and I'm on the board of UMKC. All right, so we had board meeting this week. They're going to create an MBA in data analytics, and I'm pushing them to do prompt engineering as part of the curriculum and changing the curriculum, et cetera, et cetera.
Thanks, sir. Okay, discussion points. The first couple of things that I'd like to discuss about is in the access to capital space and adopting technology. This is open for the both of you. What do you see is the pressing challenges that small businesses are facing as it relates to tech and access to capital? Maybe you would start with Theodis.
I'll get it going. One of the things I see consistently is, I say lack of education is one. Understanding what banks, credit unions need is unfortunately been somewhat of a secret. I don't know why, but it's been one of those things that there's been a lot of miscommunication out there, but also lack of education. And so once people understand the basics, the A, B, and C's of how you get access to capital, it's not rocket science. It's very easy. It's just understanding what you need and getting yourself in a position to get it. That's been one of the biggest challenges. I also say, technical assistance, like how do we support business service organizations, and we'll talk about various organizations that are available in Kansas City, but supporting them with resources to be able to train one-on-one small businesses, because banks or credit unions, we don't really have the time to train every single client, right? So how do we partner with organizations that have the time to get the one-on-one training and give them the proper training, so by the time when they come to us and ready for a loan, they have what we need and we can move the process forward. And I would say another thing is, I think it's, representation. So one of the challenges is unfortunately, it's 100 and plus charter banks in Kansas City. And there's I've been able to find maybe 20, 25 people who do what I do in Kansas City. So again, building that trust, having someone who sits on the other side of the table, who looks like you, can understand you and not feel like you're being judged, right? Is very important. And so having people who look like you, who understand, who come from the community, can be able to advocate for loans that come through the pipeline. I say that's one of the challenges as well. And then just understanding, I'll say one of the biggest is once you have your financials, once you are running a business and you're being successful, are you putting yourself in position to get access to the loan? And so I think that's where it goes to education. But I see a lot of opportunities where clients bring me their financials, and I understand why you don't want to pay Uncle Sam, because you want to limit the amount of taxes you pay. But if you bring me financials where they're in the red, right, you're not paying any taxes, it's very difficult for me to loan you money if you're not showing profit, if you're not showing growth, if you're not showing that you can pay your current bills and then pay this new loan that you're asking me for. So again, having that technical assistance, understanding what the banks want and need, how to position yourself to when you are ready to buy a building or buy this piece of equipment, how do we put you in position to win, and knowing what you need to bring to the bank to be able to have access to this money. I say those are some of the few things I see consistently when I'm working with businesses, which is okay because those are fixable things. It's just a matter of how do we educate people to know what is expected and how do we help them get access to that capital.
Perfect. Herc, same question. What are the pressing challenges that small businesses face as it relates to adopting technology, new technology? I mean, there is some obvious interest in AI. We can talk a little bit more about that, but if you want to take a step back and
Fear.
What's that? Fear.
There's no other barrier, just fear. You have to touch it, feel it, try it. That's the biggest barrier. It's not the tech itself.
So do you think the challenge is more psychological at this point?
Yeah. It's and I've seen it in even at the corporate level, right? I'm in a group called Vistage Worldwide. It's 48,000 CEOs in 35 countries, and I do training in different chapters and stuff as well. And one of the biggest challenges is you've spent so much time in the education system, right? Probably 14, 17 years, accumulating knowledge for you to be able to reason new things, right? The average vocabulary is 45,000 words for a human. And here's this thing that was trained on 70 billion words. All of the internet, all of the books. This thing knows more than me. I've been doing this for so long, right? And so the concept of expertise, I am the expert, kind of creates this disbelief and this imagination like this thing can't know more than me. And it does, right? But you need to know how to ask. Because traditionally, we've been trained and conditioned through the education system to answer questions, have the answers for the questions. When you're asking a question, it's a whole different ballgame. There's things around context, clarity, structure of the question, etc.
Yeah, I agree with that. Just to kind of piggyback on that. So using AI, understanding like QuickBooks is simple as that, right? I have clients that want to do it all on spreadsheets. And if you utilize the systems and the new technology, I've seen a lot of clients being a little bit hesitant for using it because A, they feel like they're going to break it, which you're not. But number two, they feel hesitant for using and adopting that new technology because of fear. And so I try to encourage them to, take classes or whatever you need to do. There's so many resources here in Kansas City that will help you navigate that. Call Herc, he'll help you obviously, but that technology can help you optimize your business, and also it puts it in a situation where when you bring it to a financial institution, it makes sense to us, and this is what we're looking for, rather than you trying to figure it out on your own. So that is very important.
And the answers you gave us kind of bleeds into the next topic that I wanted to talk about, which is leveraging resources, right? Resources when it comes to technology, and also resources when it comes to community. There are entrepreneurial support organizations in the city that I'm sure Theodis is very aware of. And there are resources in the technology space like ChatGPT that Herc is mentioning right now. So Theodis, just go back to the money space, access to capital space. What are the resources that are available right now, as you stated, that could potentially help solve some of the challenges that small businesses are facing in Kansas City?
In Kansas City, yeah, and a lot of these programs, they have a version of this in various cities and states. So, but yeah, like one is a small business development center here in Missouri. If you're in Missouri, you have a zip code in Missouri, or your business is in Missouri, they have a lot of access to resources, some free or very low cost that could help you with whatever stage you're in. So if you're looking to scale your business, you've been in business for 5 years, 10 years, and you're ready to scale your business to the next level, they have a scale-up program, right, that can help you do that. It's an 8 to 10 week course that kind of helps you deep into your business. They have a mentorship program called SCORE that will help you, where there's former business owners that used to be business owners, sold their businesses or whatever, now they just give their time back to entrepreneurs. They can mentor you to help you with that. They have like the Prospect Business Association, which I'm on the board of, where they help you, again, with the technical assistance side that usually support businesses on the east side of Kansas City, but they've helped, since the pandemic, people all over Kansas City. So those are specific organizations that are really doing some things that, again, I can invest in them because they're doing the work to help you get prepared for me, for lack of better words, but also not even just getting prepared for a loan, just because a lot of businesses work in their business and not on their business. And so you're working in your business, you're in a day job. You say you're going to get behind the chair, right? So now you're looking to scale and get away from the chair and now work on your business. So who do you need to connect with to help, market your business, or what systems do you need to help you find the right clients that can help you be more profitable? So those are some challenges that I see businesses are working in their business and not on their business. And so these support groups can really kind of help you with that. There's the same Small Business Development Center in Kansas, Johnson County Community College. Again, they have it there. That's free and low-cost business programs that can help you with that. I also work with the EDC, Economic Development Council here in Kansas City. We just provided a grant program for impact businesses. So, there's several opportunities out there. Honestly, it's so many it can be really like intimidating because there is so many resources in Kansas City, right? So I just encourage you to either partner with your institution or you got like BlakkCo, see who they know, kind of find out what you need. And honestly, if you don't know, that's fine. But just start asking some questions. But I would say start with like the Small Business Development Center, and there's some organizations that can kind of navigate you to where you need to go. And then as far as access to capital, real quick, like micro lending firms like CDFIs, which are community development financial institutions, which normally they're not the traditional bank, but they are organizations that offer like micro loans or can do a loan where a bank can't or a credit union can't because of whatever credit requirements you don't meet. So AltCap is one, but it provides alternative capital. Justine Peterson is another one that's here in Kansas City, based out of St. Louis, that offer micro lending opportunities. So there's several organizations like that. So if you Google CDFIs in Kansas City, there are some that are available. Central Bank of Kansas City is another one that's a traditional bank, but they offer micro lending, micro loans for small businesses. So those are a few of several available opportunities for small businesses to tap into. But again, I know it can be intimidating because there's a lot of resources available. It's just finding your niche and finding out where you want to go.
Absolutely.
Who here is not on ChatGPT? All right, we're going to fix that before we leave.
There we go.
Right? Because Theodis was saying the list is long, right? Could be intimidating, but you could literally post in here.
Yep.
What small business we're going to Kansas City for
Nice.
lending, funding, grants, and just count how many seconds it's going to take, right?
Now, what is this again, sir?
ChatGPT. And all you got to literally do is log in, create
Key
a...
programs, micro business grants.
Yep.
Within like 30 seconds, I have a whole.
With the website.
Yep, small business. I was a part of that. Small Business Development Grant Fund. We
So
did
the
that.
EDC, I got a $50,000 grant.
Casey Sourcelink. Yep.
So
Yep. I'm a part of the Kansas City Small Business Capital Program. Yep.
SBDC right there, 7.
BDC.
Yeah. So just right there, you saw a resource that
with the
answered.
links.
You can fact check me, so I'm actually right. So that's good. That's good. I appreciate that. Do that.
Right?
I love that. Technology.
Prompt that you put in? What are
I'll send you a prompt course as well. Same way to ask the question. Theodis said, what is small business resources available in Kansas City, Missouri for, for lending, for funding?
Yep.
And then he said grants. I'm like, okay, for grants.
Yep.
Yes.
But like you were saying earlier, it's the way, you have to know how to word it to get the exact information that you're looking for.
And-
That's where it is.
Yes, and it's certainly a topic that we're going to have to discuss with Hercules because it is almost frustrating to speak to a computer and it's giving you a response that it knows, but it's not really customized to what you're asking for it. So the way how you ask it is something that, one, comes with practice, and two, comes with knowledge. And he has a platform that would allow you to do that. But just to get back to Theodis' point and really give you an example, right? These organizations that are helping entrepreneurs. And I've seen it. Like a guy submitted an application, got turned down because of X, Y reasons, right? He was making about $168,000 that year as a trucking company. Now, we went through the SBDC, got him to do all the things that he was expected to do, really put it in a space where he has a business plan, projections, depending on the request that we wanted from him. And he scaled his trucking business from 2 to 4. Within 8 months of funding, he was able to scale his business from 168,000 to 380,000. That is what, 126% growth rate? Now he's projected for 2024 to hit 5, if not 600,000, right? So using these resources for your business, especially as Theodis said, almost no cost to you, paid by the tax dollars, can genuinely change the trajectory of your business. So these are not light organizations that you see listed there. Truly, they're out there to help, and they are local in Kansas City. It's just a matter of picking up the phone, scheduling an appointment, and working with them. So, Herc, you go ahead and really talk about like what would it mean for a small business that can have access to this, right, but is not really using it. One, how behind are they going to be? And two, what are the consequences?
So every business will have gaps, right? Whether the customer behavior changes, whether the business environment changes, policy changes, the skill set of the employees change, etc. So this allows you to create a digital version of the function to be done, right? So for example, marketing. Let's say you want someone, with marketing, you want a content calendar done around some topic area, and you want some long form content and short form content. You could literally do this here without hiring someone, and automates the entire process, right? So if you're a small business or any business and you have some function that you're lacking in, you can literally use this to supplement the function. And what that means to you and your competitors is that if you don't do it, your competitors will be doing it. Simple as that, right? And the foundational piece is sign up, try asking some things, go do the prompt engineering course I'll send you to, get really good at prompt engineering, and it'll change your life. Right? And I'll show you an example of 3 bots I built it last April to do the same. I had to give them names for me to remember. Like Vivian is the lead content writer, chief content officer. Ida Marie is the lead writer, and Avery is the social media manager. And they do their thing. And I'll show you that. But the ability to supplement, and I can kind of show you some employees I have on my in my company. Right? I have one that does design. This guy does coding. There's a data analyst, GPT. There's a legal assistant, GPT. So if I need a document, partnership agreement, anything, it does that. I have a product manager, GPT, to do product roadmaps. I have a sales playbook expert. It walks you through playbook selling, right? I have a pricing GPT. I put a bunch of Tableau-related pricing things, and I worked up pricing for my own company to compete with Tableau. Chief experience officer. Someone is like, hey, I would love to come work with you. For you, I'll send you a job description, and you should pay me $10,000 a month. I took the job description and created an AI version of her. All right?
Crazy, right? I mean,
I have a governance GPT. I'm on a board, so a lot of times you have governance issues that does governance policy related things. I have a legal scholar, GPT, AutoGen. So this one I trained from some research papers, but it scales up. If you give me a problem, could you all give me any problem you're having? What do you like to do? An agreement. What do you like to do? Give me a problem, anything.
somebody got a problem in their business right now.
a high-level task of what you want done. High-level task of what you want done. What's the goal? What's the goal for 2024? What's the goal for 2024?
There we
My
go.
goal is to get into corporate offices.
Okay, there we go.
Okay.
I don't know if that's high level.
Yeah, absolutely, it's high level. Yeah.
For me, it is.
And then that's the thing, like understanding where your challenges are, putting it here, because this thing, it's not gonna, it thinks for you, but it's still not you, right? So you don't allow it to be you, but use it to fill those gaps in those areas. Hey, yeah, just start off with, how do I get into corporate offices? I'm sure he's gonna figure something out. This will give you an idea, and then you will use your own skill sets to make that happen. Because what you say, you have to have someone who executes it, right? And so yeah, it'll give you the ideas, but you got to execute it.
All right, so I say, okay, I want to get into corporate events. Yeah, I have an event company that does digital games for team building, employee engagement.
But the thing is, it is exactly what he said. He said,
Yeah.
well, I want to get into corporate. And you just said, I want to get into corporate. So
The
it is-
literal things you're asking.
yeah.
So I trained this one, but look what's going to happen.
These are basic action plans.
Okay, watch this. So,
I'm about to say, maybe that's some coding term. Huh?
spin up a team and execute this, right? So they just created a market research team and the role for the team and the skills required. It's going to spin up a product development team to tailor existing games. There's a marketing and sales team. There's a client relations feedback team. So now they just kick off a meeting. You saw that? The agents just had a kickoff meeting. Right? Now they're reporting on the market research team, conducted a detailed analysis. Phase 2, market rollout. Phase 3, pilot programs. Phase 4, continue monitoring and evaluation. Right?
That's crazy.
Right?
So I don't have time is no longer an excuse to be able to get answers. At least getting an action plan and having a team together to be able to run and execute.
So I say, okay, let's get to work on execution. So it's not going to assign the roles and responsibilities and set specific objectives. They start the product development piece.
Is this what you created? or-
Yeah.
So you did the AutoGen GPT?
Yeah, so AutoGen is a research paper from Microsoft Labs.
Yeah.
And I took that research paper, a couple other things, and I fine-tuned a model. So now the model, given a task, will spin up different agents to do different things, have meetings with themselves. They send me the minutes of the meetings, I approve the stuff, all the stuff.
Is there a cost associated with that?
Well, I'll let them guess. I'll let them guess. Because I was thinking about that's a good question.
That's a great question.
I'll let you guess. Like for such technology, what do you think is the monthly cost of this? Just a
Are you asking me?
Yeah, just
So
guess.
what was the question?
What do you? How much do you think this costs on a monthly basis?
I'm sure it's at least I would start at $20-$25 a month.
Okay, that's actually on point. $20 a month, right? There is a free version of it. You can leverage for now, just the experience, get your feet wet. But certainly has a paid version. It's called ChatGPT 4. Hurt, do you know when 5 is coming out?
It's very soon.
Very soon, right?
Yeah, they speeded it up.
Speeding it up.
But this specific GPT is something called a custom GPT.
Yes, we could definitely talk about that and see how someone can actually build custom GPT.
Yeah.
Data-driven decision making is the third point that I put here. So from a banking standpoint of view, Theodis, you touched on it's almost as if like an application is submitted and something happens in the background behind the curtains, and then a rejection comes out or an approval comes out, right? But a business owner not really knowing what that step-by-step process looks like puts them in a position where they're completely confused and dazed, right? And like, why am I denied again? Well, and it's almost like a checkpoint of things that they get, and a hard, right, and a broken heart. Then it's like, I thought I was gonna get this $20,000. I know what it means to me to be able to actually take my business to the next level, right? I need something to do here. How important is it for like business owners to sit down and say, how do underwriters think? Where is it that where is the clunk in the process, and how can I ensure that when I submit an application, starts from an application and really hit the check mark thing and get us there? Because I know small business owners, when they submit an application, they know exactly what the outcome is going to be. It's just a matter of ironing the wrinkles, because they know what cash flow means. They know what the debt to value or loan to value is, right? So talk to me a little bit more about how small business owners should start to think like underwriters. And it kind of touches on data-driven decision making.
Absolutely. And even before we even get to the data, I always tell an individual, your homework, which I think there's a call to action after this, is walk out of here, whoever you bank with or credit union, you need to go find a banker. Because there's a bank on every corner, there's a credit union on every corner, but you gotta have a banker, someone who's gonna do exactly what Emmanuel said, break it down to you to why you wasn't approved, or even before we even get to the table, gonna say, hey, these are the things that you need to do, right? So utilizing the data to how you can get approved, or if you are denied, is one things we look at are the main thing, well, not the main thing, one of the key things we look at is trends in data, right? So we're going to look at your financials. It's not a secret sauce. We're going to say, hey, how much money did you make last year compared to this year, and maybe what you project in the future. Having that, utilizing technology, QuickBooks, things like that, to be able to understand where you see your business going is very important. And then even from your previous financials, so in 2023, did you make money? Did you not make money? Why didn't you make money? Understanding what's going on, like your profit and loss statement, right? Understanding where if you're having seasonality issues, right? If you may have a seasonal business where you're only hot during the summer, what can you do during those cold months to help mitigate that risk or supplement some income to keep the business floating year round? So having that data is very important with looking at your current, where you're at now, what you do in the past, and where you want to go in the future is very important. Understanding the numbers. That's where working on your business, not in your business, is very important, because you can understand, you can predict trends, right? You say, hey, last year, around March and June was kind of my slow months based on this. What can I do next year, May and June, to supplement that income or to increase marketing or whatever that thing you need to do, cut costs, so you can move on in the future. There's been situations where I will look at an individual's 3 years of their financial statements and like, okay, I'm seeing this insurance cost happen. What happened here? Sometimes I don't even know, but hey, it may have had building fire or whatever the case may be. So the insurance went up and, oh, that's what happened. Or it took on another employee and their insurance went up for that reason. Oh, did that employee make you X amount of dollars? Were you able to make money from this employee? So understanding your numbers is very important. Understanding the data is very important. Utilizing tools like QuickBooks and things like that to be able to look at those things. But also, if you're looking to take on or expand your business, knowing where you are at and where you want to be is very important. So creating some basic projections is very important, because that's going to help you know, hey, am I on the right track to hire another person? Or like you said, your guy increases revenues by 126%. If I bring on this extra truck, how much money is that going to make me? And projections are just projections, right? They're just, a guesstimate, a good guess. However, you'd be surprised if you get in the habit of creating projections for yourself. you will see trends and you'll be like, hey, you can kind of predict certain things and help you be a better business owner in a more successful business. So utilizing that data can really help you propel your business to a next level. Some people, even during the pandemic, there were some businesses that as soon as day one, the pandemic shut down, they were done. If they would have seen maybe some trends that were happening pre-pandemic, they could have stayed around, which pandemic was a bad example because everybody was struggling. But I had some businesses that they were already on their way out of business. They just used the pandemic as an excuse because pandemic happened. It's like, man, it's day one. Like, how do you have a business? But again, if they didn't look at their financials, understand their financials, work with their CPA accountant to kind of help them navigate, whatever they were dealing with, understanding their numbers, they could have weathered some of those storms. And some of the ones that understood that, they did really well during the pandemic or whatever. But just understanding where you are at today, where you want to be tomorrow is very important. Understanding the numbers, I know it can be very intimidating knowing where you are at. However, it's very important to just get comfortable with the numbers, right? Get comfortable with the data because it can really help you scale and grow your business. And that will keep you ahead of some of your competition because trust me, I see a lot of businesses and very few understand that piece, but the ones that do get it, they thrive because they understand the numbers.
Very, very important. Very important.
I think the numbers help you focus as well.
Yep.
You can spread yourself too thin,
Yes.
and half of the activities are not revenue generating or going to be revenue generating.
Yes.
So the numbers help you with focus, I would say.
Yep.
Yeah.
I set a goal of X.
Yes.
How do I reverse engineer to get to that goal?
But it's helping you deal with the other voice in your head,
Yes.
right? Because there are several voices in your head. And sometimes you try to be busy to mask the lack of focus on this revenue piece.
Yes.
So I'm doing this and this and this, and then you're like, that's why I'm not making any money here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? But the numbers help you focus in on, okay, what is really the priority?
Yes.
And focusing on, okay, let me cut half the things I'm doing, and let me focus. And then the projection and forecast gives you further focus momentum. So, okay, am I slacking or am I still on track? Am I slacking or am I still on track?
Yep.
So the numbers, and you can put in numbers and scenarios in ChatGPT. I want to grow this thing by 30% by the end of the year. What do I need to do? I'll give you suggestions, but focus. The numbers give you focus.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just to piggyback off of that, I had contractors work with some contractors, right? And they have, making a lot of money at this top vendor or GC that they work with. But that GC, they're paying them good money, but they're paying them in 90 days, right? Or 120 days. All that is a really good contractor, and that's a really good relationship, but they're draining your cash flow, right? Because they're taking so long to pay you. Plus, you got these other projects and other employees you need to pay. So once you get that good lump sum check, you're still behind because you still got to pay for these other projects you've been working on, right? So if I see, okay, this GC is, paying me 120 days, I may need to diversify because that's what we're going to look at, your work in progress, your WIP report. How many clients do you have? How diversified is your clients? Because if you have one client and you piss that client off, right, you're out of business, you're done, right? And that's a risk to the bank because if I loan you money and you only have one client and they make you mad, now my money's in jeopardy, right? So being able to understand the data and seeing if you're making money, you might have a good client, but if they're paying you in 90 days, that's not helping your business. You need to be looking for other ways to diversify that revenue and that income. And so those are some things we look at as far as tracking and trending and things like that.
Yeah.
Who gets paid in words? Paid in words. Yeah. So you had to get comfortable with the numbers.
Yeah. You gotta get comfortable with numbers. Yeah, that's absolutely true.
That's true.
People that know their finances very well are 10 times ahead of people that businesses that don't. And at least hiring someone, including ChatGPT, to be able to actually help you run numbers and really figure out where you are, where you should go, should certainly be a one strategy. But as we are on this data-driven decision-making topic, boutique, I see boutique, and there are different kinds of industries here. So how can a business that has been established, let's say for 2 years, an example, use the data that they have, including account receivables, items coming in, all of that of just operating a business, where should they put it? Where should they start to really crunch the numbers and really decide, okay, based on the numbers, I thought I was supposed to go in this direction. But right now I'm crunching the numbers and the data is telling me, once it's analyzed, that I should be heading in that direction, right? Talk to me a little bit more about that and then we'll jump.
I think it's a journey of experimentation. Your business model and your revenue model today might not be your revenue model next year, right? So the numbers tell you current state, but you still have to figure out, okay, I'm noticing, like for example, in Silicon Valley, we built an app to teach Japanese first generation kanji. So we had a kanji app to teach them Japanese language, kanji. And we put it in the App Store, and the most downloads were in Japan. And we're like, oh. Right? So you have to know your customer. You have to know where your revenues are coming from currently. What's happening in the market. You need to know your market. You need to figure out, okay, can I create another revenue stream adjacent to where you are, right? So for example, in service industry, like hair salon, right? You have a lot of customers coming in, and they might come in with their own hair, right? And you can build pipeline of supply for hair that matches them with that stuff and create a markup because you may know their hair better than them. You have to tell them what to buy in any case. And then you also know how often they come in, how much they spend, right? And if you don't see them in the week or 2 weeks, they're not coming in, you can automate some social media stuff, right? So you have to know your customer. You have to know how much they pay and how much they're willing to pay. That's where you ask, how much would you be willing? Because pricing, it's an experiment. You have to experiment with pricing, right? Netflix started at $6.99. It's now, I don't even know, 19 something.
Way more than that. I know.
So pricing is an ongoing exercise, right? So it's not fixed. What somebody paid today, they may value it differently next year, right? So pricing, you have to keep experimenting with and asking questions of your customers. You have to know the customer, you have to know the market, right? You have to know in your location, what does the foot traffic look like? Do you see people coming in with bottles of water? Maybe you stack waters and create a little margin on that, right? So you have to really get to know your behavior of your customers and the market, etc. But all that is driven by data, right? I have a mic, so I can't tell certain stories, right? But the data drives hundreds of millions of dollars in this economy. Every time Instagram says, who can show their authentic self, and you upload more pictures, right? Or you tag your pictures. There's algorithms that are doing image generation using AI, using your pictures to train the AI, right? And they're making money from it. So they're creating viral experiences for people to give them more data for them to create products to monetize that data. So nothing is free, right? And I came from that whole world, but the data is fundamental. The QuickBooks Theodis talked about gives you an insight into the financial data. Your customer data, even if you have them sign in, you have some record that you can go back and say, how often this person sign in? You'll be like, I'm fed up dealing with people, maybe I should do an Excel. Just sign in, or iPad, right? So you're gonna figure it out. Start with a low tech version, just sign in. And so why are you making me sign in? I just come to do my hair. Well, we have other specials and things, and it'd be nice to contact you when we have those things. Right? So it's basically collecting data, all the touch points of your businesses to give you the insights to make the decisions.
I have a question. Is there a way that AI can be used to track your foot traffic through your web posts? Because when I my business is pretty labile at this time, but when I do go look at the numbers, I see I'm still getting traffic up to 300 people a month, and I'm like, nobody's booking though, but they're just looking. So I don't know how to pull the data and say, who is this? Who is actually looking to see, hey, is she still in business, or can we work with her? Is there a way that
many ways, we can. There's. I think you probably put a chatbot on your website for people to actually ask and give you that data that you need to understand if you have a market, right? So there are ways to do that. Now, when you say AI is a whole set of capabilities. It's not just one thing. So because it's a whole range of capabilities, you have to go and research on, okay, in marketing, what are the AI stuff? And I have a website to send to you all too. It's called supertools.ai. It shows you tools to do all type of different things. So AI is a set of capabilities. So if there's work to be done, there's probably something to help you do it. Guaranteed.
And even on a low level of that, which I love that. And so if you, let's say you're intimidated by the AI, right? We got the small business development centers that offer data research. So if you are in this industry and you are making this, but the data shows you should be making this, they have available resources for free a lot of times to give you that data and say, hey, well, in your industry, there's X amount of people who utilize this service in Kansas City. This is the price points. Like they have the data. Like they do data on everybody. So it's in the AI. That's in the small business development centers here in Kansas City that offer free research or low cost research to help you do the thinking for you. So you don't feel again intimidated knowing where to start. Just really start writing down the questions and then asking people, who do I know can help me answer these questions? Because 9 times out of 10, we have them in here or they have them up there, right? So I think
I said do a voice note too, because it's
Yes,
easier. Just do a
absolutely.
voice note. It can
Yes.
come back to you.
It'll come back to you. That's true. Yeah.
Beautiful. I think it's best to open it up. And as you guys are thinking about your businesses and as we're discussing these topics, right? Question are popping up as it relates to your business. How can I convert the traffic that I'm seeing on my website? Reportedly, I have 300 people that are coming in, but none of them are converting, right? So he made a custom suggestion recommendation. There are free chat box. You can just pop up on the website, and then you can just give them a layout where they can simply click, right? And that can in turn lead into getting a list of clients that are interested in your product, right?
Every website has that now, right? Like, get the latest tools, connect, blah, 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 right? Pop up. You need emails.
Pop up in a way where it's like you get 10% off in the next purchase you make, but that's not the point, right? That you're thinking about, now I have a targeted person that's interested in my business. I don't really care about the 10% that they're taking off of the product. However, I know that this person is interested, right? Getting an email list might certainly be interesting. I do want to talk about future trends. Maybe we can just cut that short, just talk about it a little bit. I know you want to present a little bit.
No. I just want to show them this website.
Okay.
A bunch of tools based on categories. If you want social media, the AI tools. If you want images, finance, marketing, chatbots, prompting, productivity.
I'm gonna need to write it down. I see it in my pen. Like,
It's finance. All right, it filters out.
Yeah, this is new to me too, super tools.
Yeah. Right. Tax AI, GPT. Ask about taxes. Decode your finances. Right.
so this is maybe a question for you from me, and maybe they're thinking of it. Is cybersecurity is very important, right? And I see in our industry we're seeing a lot of attacks from individuals trying to attack the banks to try to get people's access information. It's in all banks. So if someone calls you and asks you for your username, password, do not give it to them, please. Okay? Even if they say sound like me, Theodis Watson, I will never call and ask for your username, password. I'm gonna just put that disclaimer out there. But how safe is this information once we go in, tap in, and want to utilize this technology? From your experience, what would you share?
It varies based on the privacy statement on the website and each of the applications. So you read the privacy statement, it talks about your use of data. What are they going to do with your data? Right? If you have a website, you need a privacy statement as well, per GDPR, etc. But read the privacy statement. There's a specific financial, for example, I have a Mercury bank, right? And if I need to do a transfer to certain other institutions, they use a platform called Plaid, P-L-A-I-D. But when you go and you click into the privacy statement, you see they pull your automobile loans, and this is just to do a transfer. they grab all your financial history, and people are not reading it. So they got sued, right? They paid some fine, but they're still doing it. So they're pulling your entire financial life. And I was like, yeah, I'm not doing that. Right? So it's important to click and see your data usage, privacy, what they're doing with your data. There's something called the dark web.
Yeah.
We all know about the dark web. Yeah. Right? It's just IP addresses. There's no name on the website. So you have to know the IP, right? And they sell passwords and all this other stuff.
Yep.
And that's been compromised. And getting your, like a couple of years ago, I was doing a biography of my mom and I kind of pulled it back because now you're going to know the kids, the age, what year she was born, what year the kids were born, everything. And pull it back. Because now there's deep fakes, right? People can create an AI version of you, how you look, your picture, and your voice. Right? So there's a movement around tech companies to create a watermark on images and videos that are created by AI to prevent that kind of thing. Because election is coming, it's going to get way worse. Yeah. My mom, home for Christmas, she's listening to some videos. I said, Mom, you know, this guy has the same voice. It's not a human, it's an AI. Oh, and she's on YouTube, just consuming information. Right? There's been verified reports of Russian, Chinese bots building Facebook pages like Black empowerment businesses, and they're running that thing to collect people's data to kind of sway their mind on certain things. You don't know who's the moderator of this Facebook group. Who's it? You don't know, right? So it's crazy. And America generates a lot of data compared to other countries in the world, from social media data, your GPS data, you're tagging locations, you're posting things across all the social platforms. And it's becoming a national security issue because another foreign country can use that data on the citizens to sway opinions, policies, etc. I just saw that Biden signed a TikTok ban into law in the land of the free. Right.
Yeah.
So it's like a national security issue now.
Yeah.
Right, so you're posting all this stuff, the dance, you're posting dance, you're like, hey, tag your friends. Where have you been? Instagram, people are like, oh, who have been to Mexico? Oh, Mexico. Post all the pictures of Mexico. I'm like, don't do that. Right, it's crazy. So your data is an asset. Your activities is an asset. Your thoughts are an asset. Right, so even doing Google searches and all this stuff, you read privacy. I use ChatGPT, the regular one, and I have one called ChatGPT Teams, where they don't use the data to train the AI. And I use that in work and everything else. But I've worked in data, so I'm very sensitive with data. I don't use a lot of things. I don't TikTok, I have no TikTok account. Snapchat, that's something, but I ain't trying to do all the extra, your faces, like they're training image generation AI. Right, so you are the asset. You know, back in the day, agriculture was based on plants. You are the plant for the AI. You feed the AI algorithms. Everything about your life.
So, do you think the fear that companies face is validated?
Yep.
Even financial institutions are very apprehensive.
Yes.
To even consider using technology such as AI. From chief technology officers, you hear they say, no, we're not going there. We're just going to see how it goes.
Elephant in the room. These traditional companies always had IT teams. I never worked in IT. They have IT teams, and IT team was the Wi-Fi, the laptop, the printers, etc. IT was never about products, cyber, AI, none of that. So you have somebody who's like the head of IT, and like, you want to do what? No, don't install that. Don't install that. Don't. So it kills innovation in the organization because all they're trying to do is keep their job, right? And then because they're not updating themselves, you have these new technologies can still get in this stuff. So they can't even protect the organization they're already in, right? So we have things like quantum computing coming. Who here uses passwords with at least 16 characters?
I do. Till my stuff is long.
Where do you save your passwords? You save your passwords?
No, I'm not into the wallet because I'm nervous that it can be
But
What
where
about
do you,
your,
where do
your
you
notes
save it?
section of your cell phone? Is that bad?
In my head.
In my head, yeah.
Which means they're weak.
It means it's
How many characters in it? How many characters make up a password? 6? 7? Yeah. It's weak. It's probably part of your birthday, part of your home address, somebody's name, and you put it together and like, yep, that's your password. So it's weak. Right? So they have something called a password-less systems, and I'm going to show you how to protect even basic thing as your Gmail. I'm going to log out my Gmail, log in and log out. So this is my Gmail. Right? I'm going to sign out. I'm going to sign in again. Right? And I do this maybe once a week with different apps. And when I sign in, I hit forget password. Right? It's going to send me, it's going to text me. It's going to confirm as me.
Yeah.
Right? But I don't save passwords. And I don't remember passwords.
So every time you just do forget password?
Yeah, and then generate a new password.
Every time?
Once a week,
Okay.
once a month.
Yeah.
Wife,
That's not
signal
bad.
here a little bad,
Good.
but right? And so yeah, I'm trying to get some signal here.
Yeah, no
It's
signal.
6.
Yeah, we're in the basement.
Yeah.
That makes. But talking
Right?
about trends until that comes through. But cybersecurity is a trend that we are seeing. So I just encourage businesses
Okay.
to protect yourselves.
So it
It's
came
going to
back,
be very
right?
important.
Yes, it's me. Number 6. Right? This is two-factor authentication. Get a verification code at Yahoo. So my,
you do that and you don't remember it.
there's no need to remember it.
Just do.
Just say forget password, and they're gonna like, okay, they run it through again and create a new password. I create a new password. I create a new password here.
Stay signed in.
Use password generator, and I generate a password here. I can create the length. Right? Who's gonna crack that?
Yeah, you got to be, yeah.
And I'm starting to see that a lot more automatic, like when you want to go log in or create a password and you're like suggesting.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Is that okay to trust that?
Yes,
I'm never like,
yes, yes, yes. That's good.
It's okay to suggest stay logged in?
Yes, yes. And then every time you remember, like, you know what? Let me just change my password.
Yeah, put a reminder on your
Yeah.
phone or something.
So what I'm saying is that I need to start
Or even
they suggest
after a little while, it'll
Yeah.
kick you out. It's like time to reset your password.
Yeah, I'm going to do that, yeah.
Right? So I gotta link that to the, notice it says create a new password. If I click here, right, I go across here, copy this. I come back here, paste.
and stay
Yes.
for a week.
Okay. And just stay logged in.
Just stay logged in for a week and redo it again.
There we
So
go.
it's some hacker, and then they have a security checkup to check your passwords.
Yeah.
Right? So if you,
I'm going to do that. That's good.
right?
Especially on some real important stuff.
Yeah,
So
yeah, absolutely.
I've been like a chief technology officer in a lot of companies, public companies. So if a hacker hacks my stuff and they're like, oh, what's going on here? We could blackmail this guy to do this thing, right? General Petraeus, that happened to him too, right?
Yep, sure did. Yeah.
I know this is kind of off subject, but I was never on LinkedIn till about, I'm not gonna lie to you, maybe 2 years ago. And it was because I was trying to pivot in my business. And then
Yes.
nursing, I was trying to just
Yes.
change what I was doing. So anyways, I started noticing more recently when I started applying at other nursing jobs that I get a lot of spam on my actual phone number that I don't have on my LinkedIn. But I'm like, there is a connection and I don't know what to do. What would you suggest for if you know something has happened where your information has been leaked? I mean, daily I'm getting texts.
Spam calls is crazy.
Yeah.
I get a lot of
Yeah,
spam calls.
Text, email, it's ridiculous.
Major organizations, you see like United Healthcare has had a,
Breach, correct.
or I
Yes.
feel like it's a lot of major organization breaches that are, it's how our information
I forget where the website Kwame said when their password get hacked.
So that's that's a real thing. So what would you recommend she do? Because I'm curious.
On the phone spam, there's no you can
There's
do.
no
I don't
answer.
answer spam
The
calls.
text,
It's the text.
you
I just report.
Just say stop.
When I say
Yeah.
delete and report junk or something, is that like blocking them too?
Yes, and report as spam.
Yeah, okay.
So this is the website. Have I been owned?
Yeah. Oh. If I did what?
Owned.
Phone.
Owned. Like somebody own you, like, yeah. So you type in an email address. Give me an email address, someone. Give me an email address. No, they're going to check to see if it was a breach on the email.
I can give you ours. Let's do it. Support at BlakkCo.com. So I'm getting a lot of
Support
spam.
at,
At the Black BlakkCo.com. Because I feel like I have.
good
Oh,
news.
good.
No.
Right, I'm going to give you some steps.
3 ways to better security. Yeah, so that's
So this
Right
is
there,
just for websites, not like your email.
Yeah, this is an email address.
Oh, you look at your email address?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that is what that is. Okay.
The hard answer to the phone number is probably changing your phone number if it's absolutely necessary. I had to do that. T-Mobile, I think they were breached a few years ago. So
It's
I
like
do
you just
get,
got a breach too.
major organizations.
yeah.
Wasn't the city in the city too? I feel like something else happened local.
Jackson County Appraisal's Office.
Yeah.
The county, yeah, they did. So if you're buying a house or doing a real estate transaction, it's very delayed right now because of that. Trust me, I'm dealing with that. So yeah, so cybersecurity is a trend, obviously. I would also say the cost of money, right? Cost of money is going to change. So interest rates, we've been really, I guess, spoiled after the pandemic with low interest rates, 3, 4, 5%, 6% money. Now, I mean, don't be surprised to get a 10, 11% loan, 9% loan right now. Prime is 8.5. So, you know, again, it's still a decent rate compared to if you look at historical figures. We've just been very lucky based off the pandemic, which pandemic wasn't lucky, but that's the reason why the interest rates were low at that time because obviously inflation and everything goes into it. I mean, they had to boost the economy up based off of where we came from. The world was shut down basically. So now we're trying to recoup all of that. And so just be prepared for, and the whole market is not just the banking or financial service industry, but the whole world is trying to recoup that. So be prepared for higher interest rates when you're taking out loans, money. Don't be afraid of it though, because if you have to pay 8.5%, 9% money, that's going to help you scale your business $50,000, $100,000, do it. Or to be able to buy this piece of equipment to help, you know, expand your business, do it, because it's just only a cost of doing business, right? Mm-hmm. You can write off the interest, you can do a lot of things, you know, work with your accountant, but it's just one of those things that don't be afraid of it, but it is just a thing now. So if you need the money, if you qualify for it, go get it if you need it. It's just one way of helping you get your business to where it needs to be.
That's a really good point. I literally was just looking at a business opportunity for a loan the other night. I was like, 15%. Like
Yeah.
I said that out loud, like
Yeah.
in comparison to what it used to be.
Yeah.
And I was like, God, that seems higher than normal. Is
Yeah.
what I thought. Like,
Yes.
that was higher than normal. So that's interesting.
It is what we've been used to, but yeah, that's just, and it's going to go down. I mean, well, they talked about that here recently that they now they may not expect any rate cuts in this year, so we don't know. It's just a strange time. We're coming after the pandemic. Inflation is not where they want to be. You say what? Geopolitical. You got the wars happening. It's the political cycles happening. There's a lot just unfortunately happening right now. So no one knows what's happening. Then you got the Baltimore Bridge situation, which is impacting a lot. So you don't think about all of those things impacting what we do in Kansas City, but it does. It's just how you navigate and keeping your eye on the prize on your business, and staying informed and educated about what's going on, because you know it's impacting you one way or the other. We're lucky because we're in the Midwest, so we're kind of sheltered and secluded from the rest of the coast, but it does trickle down to us eventually. So you just got to be prepared for it.
Thanks. All right, future trends. What do you notice? I guess we just talked about it. You were showing us even the password generator, some super tools. I believe it's new to me, so I would imagine I'll consider that to be in the category of future trends. Any other gems you'd like to drop before we can transition into Q&A a little bit? I know a few of you have asked questions, and as you're thinking about your questions, businesses rather, what would you like to ask Theodis and Herc?
So we're going to go into, so GPT, if you think about Chat GPT, Chat is the app on the GPT. If you think about it as an agent, and multi-agent systems, like I just showed you AutoGen, they're going to become pervasive by next year. We're working on one, right, for supply chain. So where the forecasting agent talks to the inventory agent and said, hey, we have this forecast, what does this look like? They work together, okay, let me put an order, replenish this stuff without a human. So there's going to be a lot of multi-agent systems that are running autonomously. That's going to significantly impact a lot of jobs. All right? It's like saying, you know, like the impact of, so this category of AI is called generative AI. It's a reasoning engine. So it's able to reason. So it's not a search engine, it's not a tool. LLM, large language model, reasons. Right? So I give it a task and it reasons that it's going to need these agents and give the agents roles and their job descriptions, and it reasons things. And because it does that, there's going to be a lot of job loss. First quarter, I think it's something like 58,000 jobs in tech gone.
Yeah, that's kind of sad. We talked about that fear, and that was one of the things that is going to make a lot of people jobless, and then a lot of people have to go back to school, start over again.
What school?
What, right.
To learn what?
But a lot of people who have degrees and things already, it's pointless when this continues to grow. And then they said, I heard that people who don't jump on board with ChatGPT and this, or just AI, period, this new wave, are going to be the bottom, I forgot what they call it, but like, they're going to be left behind in society, and they're going to be considered the bottom, from a social aspect, they're going to be considered like the bottom, like the elders are going to, and even just people who are stuck in their ways, or just people who are fearful, who don't jump on board, even ministries, and just all kinds of different things, they're going to be like, as this thing just continues to scale, and that's kind of like, that's where that fear, I don't have any fear, but that's where that fear kind of comes from. It's kind of sad, like, dude. But it's either you jump on board at some capacity, or you get left behind, even educationally, like where society is going. It's going this way.
All right, so let me ask a few questions. Adam Smith. Anybody know Adam Smith? He wrote a book, Wealth of Nations, in 1776. What else happened in 1776? 1776. Declaration of Independence. Founding of the country. Right? And then it had the rise of the industrial age, capitalism. Right? What is capitalism based on? 3 pillars. We live it, but we don't think about it. Your cost of your labor is equal to what? Cost of your labor. You're going to hire someone, right? How do you determine how much you pay them? Based on
How much they can do?
the effort, right? Level of effort, and what else? Right? Execute the time it takes to execute. Right? Cost of labor, level of effort, and the time it takes. With what I just showed you, how long does it take to do something? Few seconds. What's the level of effort?
Bare minimum.
So then what's the cost of labor if you're going to build a society with that. Job's gone. Right? So the founding of capitalism, 2 of the 3 pillars are gone. We're living in capitalism. That's the bad news. The good news is capitalism is very young, 400 years.
Yeah.
So what happened and predated capitalism? That's what we're going to have to go back to.
Yeah.
Right? There's going to be talk around universal basic income, UBI. So just Google that, right?
Yeah.
Pay you to stay home. And what are you going to stay home and do? What did people do in the 1600s?
Labor.
Agriculture, self-actualization, the other things that made humans higher beings. Right? Because the construction of this was about labor to accumulate capital. And now you're going to have the labor being done by agents to accumulate more capital at a faster rate. This specific one is targeted towards the white collar. Traditionally, it was blue collar and automation and robotics and all that. This one is white collar. And those jobs, I said last year, the rate of displacement is going to exceed any other impact of technology. The rate. If you look at the rate of layoffs, they're like 25%, 10%, Amazon, 25,000, gone. The rate at which that's happening is going to be unprecedented. So there's going to be a lot of like social unrest, a whole bunch of things.
But the manual laborers,
Those will remain to an extent. The services businesses going to remain. The vocational things going to remain. Right?
Trades, yeah.
Trades are going to remain. That's why I felt compelled to come here. Right? I was in a conference in Atlanta, Modex, supply chain. There was a whole floor, I don't know if you've ever been in the conference center. There's a whole floor dedicated to robotics. I saw machines, pallets, unpacking stuff, wrapping stuff, but I was like, humans are dumb. I said, how much for this one? He said, 200,000 with an 8-year contract, maintenance free. And that, maintenance free, 8 years, $200,000, and it doesn't take breaks.
Doesn't go on vacation.
No vacation, doesn't get sick,
Doesn't get
24/7.
so you factor in the salary of if you was to pay a person,
Yeah.
it person, right? And that's nothing compared to what you would be dishing out to,
Right, Google in December last year, the advertising group, they were creating ads, testing ads, 1,000 people. They train on AI based on all the stuff they do. Boom, 1,000 people. They shut the whole division. 1,000 people. They're like, whoa, gone.
So what were the thing, guys? But with that coming very similar out of the pandemic, there was a lot of entrepreneurs that spurred out of that. So, however, I view this as opportunity. Although it is kind of like fearful.
Yes.
Like, don't take it as a fear. Like, oh man, like my job is in jeopardy. Like, no. How do you use these systems to help generate income, revenue, become entrepreneurs, and grow? Because there's been an uptick. I see all women here, other more brother. Like, but women after the pandemic, there's the statistics of women entrepreneurship grew exponentially, right? And so that is the next wave, right? And so those are things that be thinking about, like how do you build your business or build your capacity for that next stage, because it's coming.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, how do I see it? I see it coming. If I didn't know, that would be a problem. But now I know it's coming. How do you position yourself to win, right? And so there's plenty of opportunity, to your point. It's just those, like you said, who are not willing to change, not willing to adapt. Those are the ones are in trouble.
It may be because of the lack of information.
Yeah.
The positives of it.
Yes.
There are negatives of it.
Yeah.
The dark web of it.
Yeah.
Dark AI.
Yes.
Crazy, deranged people that use it for just evil.
Yes.
But if we're more, being educated, then you can see the positives
Absolutely.
of it and scale from there.
Absolutely.
Now, one more thing I want to touch on, the definition of time. Right?
The definition of time.
Yeah. Definition of time. Right? Right now we use the Gregorian calendar. So the new year starts January 1st. It's not the same for A lot of cultures around the world. Chinese New Year, Ethiopian New Year, Thailand New Year is not the same. So time is not something that is real. It's a construction. Everybody say, okay. In the Caribbean, we don't do daylight savings time. America changes the time. So it's not real. Right? You buy into it, but it's not an objective reality. God said, this is the time. And it's that time everywhere. That's not so. Right? So the time we're living in, we're using the Gregorian calendar. And the Gregorian calendar kind of based on the sun up, sun down.
Right.
So we took time, the definition, Gregorian calendar, and one of the pillars of capitalism is time. Right?
Yes.
So if to do this thing took 2 hours, and now it takes 5 minutes. Right? It means the thing you're thinking about doing takes shorter to do. So you cannot be operating on your own timeline that you had before. Because remember she said, I was thinking about it. It's like, your thinking need to be
now.
5 minutes and get to action.
Get the action. Yeah.
No
That's real.
pontification.
Yeah.
And I tell CEOs here, no pontification.
Yeah, you gotta do it now.
Time definition changed. So the pontificate, let's brainstorm. No.
Yeah.
Go hit ChatGPT and then get your stuff in 1 minute and get to action and test it out and try it and experiment.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah.
So the time is now.
Time is now.
Time is money.
It's up. It's up. The clock.
Time is
Shot
money.
clock. It's up.
Yeah.
But if you like, this AI thing, you're pontificating, that's not going to win you a championship.
Are you here located in Kansas City or you?
Yeah, I'm here. And,
we'll be able to find him on LinkedIn. I think they actually post as it relates to their subject matter expertise, and you'll be able to find what they say, and it's so relevant to what's going on today. All right, so let's talk about Urban Financial Services Coalition. I'll let him touch a little bit about his organization. I think it's very relevant, especially for.
With the organization.
Yeah. I'm already signing you up. I got my notes.
We out of time.
Yeah, we out of time. Yeah, you ain't talking about the year's done. You told me we're here. So no, just real quick. It's an organization that does this. Let's have a conversation, leaning into thought leadership. How do we see more of us in senior level positions? Because to your point, we can do all of this, but if you don't have someone from the top advocating for our community, hiring the right people, putting them in position, making decisions, then all we're going to be doing is just talking, right? So our organization is how do we put people in position to be able to make those decisions, advocate, and make impact? And so that's ultimately what we're doing, trying to bring up the next generation. So we just celebrated 50 years just a couple weeks ago of a Black organization. Yeah. So we've been very excited, and it started off with 3 guys generally in 1974 saying, hey, it needs to be more of us in the financial service. It started off as National Association of Urban Bankers, but eventually transitioned to financial services because it's so more vast than that, just being bankers. And so they started off just having a conversation. How do we connect more of us in these spaces? Went to a conference and found out it's a bunch of other Black bankers in the country, and it just went like wildfire. And so now what we're doing now is how do we use technology? How do we engage that next level of leaders in the financial service industry? How do we utilize our influence to be able to make impact? We got scholarships, we do mentorship, we do professional development. And one of the things that you don't have to be in the financial service industry to support us, that's just who we are. But we are looking for entrepreneurs, and we support entrepreneurs. We have platforms to help you share your story, share your resources. And so there's several other things that we do very well. Our goal is to how do we do a few things very well and make impact, policy changes, everything. Because honestly, I think financial services should be in the schools at elementary school, not in high school, elementary school. because I mean, once you get to high school, I'm not gonna say it's too late, but you know, we should already be hearing concepts like savings and CDs and investments and entrepreneurship like in elementary school. And so I sit on the board of an early childhood education organization, Early Start, and 90% of the brain is developed by like age 6, right? And so if 90% and then they've experienced trauma from all the way from, you know, to 8th grade down, you know, they're thinking, you know, their behavior with money and financial education, it's bad because of what their environment is. They've already have this thing about money, and how do we know you can be a millionaire and you can be successful, and even if you have $2 and if you manage that $2 well, you can still be successful, right? You don't have to have the Porsches and the Maseratis, because you know, you don't have to have that to be successful and live a forgiving life. And also, again, letting them see people that look like us in these positions, right, is so important. So they're not thinking, you know, I can just have to work entry level. No, you can be a CFO, you can be a COO, you can be a CEO, or you can start your own company and be successful. So that's what we do. We mentor, we build the next generation, and the goal is to just continue to build that relationship and try to change the behaviors with money and financial services, because in our community, obviously, it's not saying it's a negative thing, but I think it's a lot of misrepresentation. So we just need to continue to find ways to partner with our community better, and that's what we do.
Awesome. That's awesome. That's
great.
By the end, I'll have QR codes where you can scan and get direct access to the website. But definitely, I would suggest for you to follow Theodis on LinkedIn. And see what he does. Christina, you had something to say?
Oh, were you opening up a question?
Sure, and I'll definitely see if they can participate as well. And any thoughts or any questions that you have as you think about your businesses regarding these two topics of capital, access to capital, and then technology, feel free to share, if any. But if not, go ahead, Christina.
Oh, no. I'm going to ask questions, but if they got questions.
The only question I had was for Hercules. So just asking you, talking about time and getting it now. So I guess each person here has a different business needs. And so when I think about where I'm headed, should I be starting with ChatGPT first?
Yes.
Just starting to use that? And then
Yes.
figuring
Bounce
out-
all the ideas off of it.
Okay, and then that should just change my life.
Yes.
Will help to, help with my acceleration of time.
Yes. It changed my life.
I didn't know to do that. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like I said, I was rebranding. So working with a web designer now. So incorporating this AI.
Yes.
AI into the website.
Yes.
It just kicked into action platform.
Yes. And as you're pulling it up, it helps you devise like your plan, right? How to prioritize where to start, because it can be a lot overwhelming. I'm sure he can show you, but what I've used it for is to kind of get my thoughts in order and prioritize and help me where I need to start. And then I can kind of use my own experiences in and kind of make it happen. Because, go ahead.
I'm sorry.
No, go. Yeah, absolutely.
Since I've been under this construction for about a month, different people are emailing me about my website. So it's making, I don't know if I'm getting, I guess it's like nitpicking, and so I'm starting to get discouraged, like, am I not doing it right over here? Does it look right? And I'm calling everybody, getting opinions. So it's got me like questioning, am I doing it right? Versus my web designer, like, Chris, you just stay focused, because this is what's looking good. People coming in and showing me different attractions of how the website should look. Versus, what is that doing?
Get started and just go. Modify and grow, yeah.
And if you need a connect that can help you work on your website as well, Goldie could be a good resource. So I can connect you with someone that can really help you establish your website if necessary. But I'm sure Herc is going to show you something that could cut her job. Yeah, no, for sure.
Can I add?
Yeah.
Something to keep in mind is a website is never really done. So even though anyone, wherever the resource comes from, it's not ever gonna be done. It's always gonna be relatively risky. So you probably now, as you're already in it, look at it as phase 2, and probably whatever resources they have, you can look at it as phase 1 and then phase 2, and that kind of thing, not just thinking you've done your website and that's it.
Very good point.
Good point. Yep.
Very good point. Christina?
Yeah, so just for the room in general, Theodis, I know you talked about, knowing your numbers and your projections. Do you have 3 ways that are easy to know your numbers, or maybe 3 ways easy to know your projections that everybody can kind of listen to? And then also, Hercules, 3 ways to use AI technology in your business. Just quick little tips.
Marketing.
Yeah.
So sign up for ChatGPT Plus. There's a bunch of, there's a GPT store. There's a bunch of marketing AI tools in there. It could even create marketing videos for you as well. You give it an idea, it'll create the script and create an actual video. Right? Content, it'll generate content for sure. And then some of your financial requirements, like what do I need? I want a credit union loan. This is the interest rate. This is how much I make currently. I want to increase revenues by 20%. What are some of the ideas you can give me on what is this stuff? And let's spit out some stuff here.
Okay, so marketing, generating content, and either applying or looking for ways to increase revenue.
Yeah.
Okay.
Put all your scenarios in the, create a chat, create the scenarios. Hey, so this is what I do. I'm thinking, blah, blah, blah. How would you, blah, 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 and spits it out.
Yep, and I would say the small business development centers, they have data research in your industry where your margin should be. That'll be one. Also, there's a on Score on their website, they have a bunch of templates, financial templates, where they have a projection model where you can plug in stuff. It goes very detailed or high level, however you want to go into it, but it even calculates like your taxes, what your employee tax would be, and you can run several scenarios, and at the end, it'll tell you if you're making money or not. And put all what you'll make and all the products you offer, and then what your expenses would be running a business, if it's rent, utilities, whatever those things are, and it'll tell you what your bottom line would be. Factor in an employee and how much you might want to pay this person, and what the taxes will be. It kind of goes very in depth and play with it. I was on a panel with another business, and this guy who sold his business, and he said he worked for a Fortune 500 company, and they used to run projections like several times a year just to see what's going on, all the market increase because of this. Let's just plug it in what our costs would be if our prices increase, plug it in, and just be able to see kind of various scenarios and just play with it. You can't break it, but put as much information in there, and I can, if you email me, I can send you the template. But the more you get comfortable with the numbers and playing with it, the better. So that will be one of my, resources, use that template to kind of understand where you are at and where you want to be for projections. And it'll tell you if you're in line or not and if you're making money. And then my last thing is just go to whoever your banker is, and we should be a part of your team as you're growing your business, like your insurance agent, like ChatGPT, like your attorney. We should be a cog in your wheel to help you think through some of these things. So we're just not your transactional checking account, savings account offering. We should be a part of your team to help you think through things like this. But
so Score or financial templates.
Yes.
Visit your small business development agencies for more historical data on your industry. And then see your banker. Any tips on how to connect with a really good banker, or like how to look for a banker?
I will start with your current institution. Call Emmanuel, call myself, or start with your institution. Just walk in and say, hey, I bank with you all. Who's your business banker? And I always say, all banks aren't created equal. And so there's a bank on every corner, find a good banker. That's what you need. If you're in business, you need a good banker. Even if he or she leaves, stick with that person because they may have left to get a better opportunity, right? But that person is going to advocate for your business. And what are the
characteristics of a good banker?
Someone who picks up your phone calls, someone who responds to your email, and someone who gives you good advice, and not just trying to do a deal, right? And so I would say someone who you just can relate to Yeah, they ain't gotta look like you. They can be white too. I know some really good white bankers too. But someone who just answers your questions and who feels very genuine, right? Because we are fighting for your business just like you're wanting the loan, right? But we're in the business of selling money, so we want to get money out in the street. We have goals and responsibilities and things we have to meet too. However, sometimes we don't look at all opportunities. So I would say someone who picks up your phone, answers your email, someone you feel like you get a genuine conversation with, that would be a good start.
I think you got an A.
There we go. Trustworthy, strong communication, detail-oriented, analytical skills, customer service.
I'm replacing Google with Jackson.
Correct.
I mean, honestly, because
Google called a code red.
Yes.
Google called a code red 2 summers ago because they're like, oh my God, this is gonna kill Google search.
They got behind.
And that's their money generator.
Yes. With ads and everything.
Yes.
They started too late.
Yeah.
They didn't jump on it.
So, I have a question. Are there any particular things we should be looking for when we're on a random website, when you see AI, like a chat box? Is there something that should trigger me to say, oh, I don't know if I should put my info into there?
Well, they want to call you. That's their way of trying to get connected, figure out who you are, and call you.
Right.
That's it.
But I mean, I guess what I'm saying is there anything that we could, as consumers and business owners, that we could say, oh, this is something that's, I shouldn't be putting my info into, I guess.
Depends on the website. So the website, not the bot, the website itself.
Okay.
But people could be asking the same question about your website, right? When they land on your website, now you're gonna have a chat bot asking them for their information. So I think you will discern based on how and why you landed on that website. And that would give you an idea of, okay, I want to get connected with this organization because I feel as though they can provide with the product or information that I would need, right?
So I just wanted to show real quick.
But that would be my answer.
But this website creates, from a prompt, creates website.
This is a chat GPT?
No, this is another Brussels, yeah. So I said create a holistic medicine website with subscription. So it created this.
Pricing included.
So it created 3 versions.
Different templates.
And I can say, yeah. And I can say use a blue theme and it'll convert this black into blue.
It's building the V1, the second version basically.
That's crazy.
Right, so now this is the blue theme here. V0.dev.
Is that free?
No.
$7 a month. $7.
That's not bad.
You can't afford it.
So free.
You cannot afford it.
So free, right? So even if you're going to somebody and you want a website, you can come here and kind of sketch out, hey, this is what I'm looking for, right? Now, here, the code, you could actually, this is the code for the website.
Wow.
I'm actually put it on the website, and it'll beat the website.
You got to be the whole website.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And back to the other side, it's cool to use the technology, but you still want to keep your own foundational creativity.
Yes.
So I feel like when I've used it, I see it, so it gives you sort of like an idea, but I don't do it verbatim. Like, it's just more of the structure for me, and maybe, like you said, thinking through the process, but I still want to be creative
Yes.
in my own right, and
Yes.
still use what I want.
Right.
You know, within
I think it's almost like music production, right? Like, I want to beat the drums and play the guitar. It's like, yeah, but somebody in the studio using a beat machine, right?
I'm trying to figure out how to use it all to do nothing. Me personally.
I mean, absolutely.
One more thing.
Kirk, I do want us to touch on your company, and I think before we wrap up, we have to touch on lifelong learning labs. I think that's very important.
Who do y'all work? What bank do you got? Y'all work at the same bank?
No. He works for a bank, and I work for a credit union. Yeah.
So this is my second company, Lifelong Learning Labs. So I do a lot of training through here. Right, bunch of corporate training as well as cohorts, individual training, bunch of courses on prompt engineering as well. This one is free, Master in Prompt Engineering.
So it basically would help, from my understanding, and you can clarify, basically would help you become a better communicator with this technology. It is communication. As you're seeing, he's just typing it and really talking to it, right? So, but sometimes you would find it frustrating. And then from experience, and I've advised a lot of small businesses to use it, and they get irritated. It's like talking to a child, they say sometimes, right? But it is, right? It is a child. And I feel like I'm stealing your line, but I may take it from there. So it learns how to communicate with you, and especially as you're developing custom GBTs, then it's almost as if you're telling it themes. It's like, I need you to start thinking about my social media marketing strategist. Got it. What's next? I need you to start thinking about social media strategists from an angle directed at LinkedIn. It does the research in the background, I would imagine, right? And it basically puts it in a position now when you are sending prompts, it's with that understanding. It's replying back to you into your questions directed to your business. So, but that's, I think it needs to be cleared out in a way where what does it mean with prompt engineer? And my question was like, so are you basically telling me that once I'm done with this, I am an engineer, right? He said yes, so I guess I'm an engineer.
Engineering of prompts. I created a little theme song for financial services. I said, create a theme song for a financial services company.
Cash flowing, money showing.
Wow.
It's all we know,
The lyrics are-
financial wizards. We make your finances grow. We're the ones who crack those numbers, make them shine. With our help, your wallet's gonna do just fine.
Wow.
We're the pros, the financial heroes.
So the music industry is in trouble.
Thank you.
Oh yeah. It's like beats, 808s, and everything is that.
And let me share this one on.
That's one of your bots. So you got a bot for music.
No, this is a whole website, whole company.
We're the ones to trust. Financial services with us. You're never lost. We'll guide you through.
Pretty good song.
Count on us. Help you through life's crazy way.
Right.
Okay, so hold on. Let me go to. Where's my plugin?
To help you through life's crazy ways.
Let me go straight to Visla.
You must got like super firewalls on your computer too. Though. I mean, 'cause I'm just thinking like as much stuff he knows. Yeah.
All right. So I want to make a video for Black before we go, and I'll send it to you. All right. Give me a description here.
What kind of, I'm sorry.
Description of Bloch.
Social club for communities of color, offer programs, recreational activities.
Create a marketing video for a social club called. Let's leave it simple. Visla, Visla.
How much does that cost? Is that free too?
Probably like $7.99. All these things is like one less beer. All right, okay. Get it going.
One less
Per month?
Starbucks, yeah.
One less, yeah, okay. All right.
In all seriousness, from a small business perspective, having tools like this is important.
Absolutely.
These are things
Same
that
with you.
have to
No, it is.
outsource.
It is. At the same time, it's another subscription though, right?
$7,
You
$9.
say $7 and $9, but the $7 on top of the $20, on top of the $15, on top of the $40.
But that's still better than
You know what I'm saying?
$1,500.
I don't know what you're saying.
You don't know what I'm saying?
No, because that $7 could drive $700 worth of traffic to your big website. So I don't see the cost. I see it as the investment. If I put $7 in this vending machine, how much can I pull out? So that's how I spend my money. If I put
If you're using it once in a month, and you know next month you're not going to use it because that video is going to be good enough for the next few
Welcome
months.
to
you're not
Black,
paying $7
where connections thrive and memories are made. Join us in a vibrant community that celebrates diversity and unity. Experience that pulsating with energy and excitement. Discover a place where every moment is an opportunity for adventure. At Black, laughter echoes and friendships blossom under starlit skies. Unleash your creativity and passion in the heart of Black's artistic soul. Embrace the rhythm of Black, where music and joy intertwine seamlessly. Join us at Black, where every individual shines in their unique light. Celebrate life's beauty and spontaneity in the heart of Black's spirit. Black, where connections are forged and memories last a lifetime.
Right? Yeah, so it wrote the script here, and you can change the script, etc. It wrote the script from the one line and generate the entire video.
So if you would have put African American people in there.
Maybe, let's see, maybe.
And probably word experiences.
Yeah, so that's the context part of the prompt. You put the prompt in, and it generates. $7, you take that, put it on a website, put it in social media. I think maybe like $7 maybe.
But imagine if you were to hire someone to actually do this for you, it would cost you more than $7. Like that's the bottom line.
Time.
And just what
Time.
you said, when you put something in, you want to receive something back.
Yes.
So we want to keep our costs low upfront as possible, so that because a lot of times I feel like in small business we do a lot of upfront costs.
Yeah.
And sometimes that is not good for us.
On fixed assets, right? Sometimes that's needed, and they're the financial experts. But $7, if I stick, I have a bunch of videos we created. I put $7 in. Yeah, I'm gonna do that all day.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. No, that's.
Chat GPT Plus is what, $20 a month?
Yeah.
Less than $1 a day? Hey, take my money.
Yeah.
And you can generate unlimited GPTs,
Yeah.
customized. You saw that side on the left-hand corner? It's like you have every single person in your team that you would need to execute. So, I mean,
Do you have to build that, or is there like?
There's a GPT store now that you can kind of select ones and
create one.
So
That's
all
great
that you
GPT.
have right there, you like purchase from the different
most of it I built before the chat store even was a thing, and now it's a thing. And I use that for diagrams, flow charts, diagrams. I'm not doing that. I'm not even going PowerPoint doing that. Presentations. Go gamma.app. Should I show you all that too if you need any presentation deck, pitch deck, whatever. Gamma, GAMMA.app. Yeah.
Any other questions?
Okay. Yes, certainly. I can. Do you have LinkedIn? The business cards? Right, you have business cards?
Yeah.
Let me. And okay, gotcha.